The Islamic religion in Nigeria is divided into many sects, among whom is the Shia, which is the second largest branch of Islam in the world after Sunni Islam. The Shiites consider Prophet Muhammad descendants, known as Ahlul Bayt, through the marriage of his daughter Fatima Zahra and his cousin Ali, as the true source of guidance. The Shia, like Sunni Islam, has been divided into many branches. In Nigeria, the story of Shia for the past 30 years has been a story of confrontations with constituted authorities, a story of violence.
Su bar bakin hanya su shigo daga ciki can ciki kuma in sun ga motocin sojoji suna son su shigo a kyale su shigo a kyale sai sun shigo sannan sai a dode ya zama sai dai a mutu.
Amma yau sai ku kawo sojoji idan Allah ku yi hankuri bari mu wuce abin da za ku yi
In the midst of these crises instigated by the Islamic movement of Nigeria, led by Sheikh Ibrahim al-Zazzaki, sprang another Shiite group.
Wannan kungiya ta Rasulul Azam wadda muke takaice ta da RAF, Rasulul Azam Foundation, kamar yadda sunan yake nunawa, wato na farko dai kungiya ce ta Shi'a zalla.
Sheikh Saleh Zaria, who is the Secretary General of the foundation, was a graduate of Ahlul Bayt Islamic Institute, Accra, Ghana. He also holds master's degree in peace and conflict resolutions and a fellow of peace with Cardinal Onayokon Peace Foundation.
A wurare da yawa na kan gaya musu cewa kungiya ce wadda take ba ta shiga cikin harkokin da suka shafi siyasa da lamuran faɗi tashi na Najeriya ba. Ma'ana in an ce haka nan ba ta da fahimta irin wanda ake wa 'yan Shi'a a saha ta Najeriya, a fage na Najeriya gaba daya. Da an ce dan Shi'a ana da wani kallo na siyasa zuwa kungiyar Shi'anci. To wannan nake nufi, wannan kungiyar ba irin wannan bane. Wannan aqida ta Shi'anci mai cece ita ne wai gaba daya. Wannan tambaya ta zo ta bayyana wato a lokuta da dama, musamman a lokacin da ya zama ana kokarin a san to menene wannan aqida din, amma an dangana mata abubuwa marasa kyau saboda kila ana kokarin a fassara ayyukan wasu jama'a. To anan nake son ce kafin mu faɗa aqidar Shi'a ba za ka fassara aikin mutum da aqidarsa da addininsa ba. Inda ana yin haka nan to da za a hukunta ɗan uwa ahlus sunna, za a hukunta mabiya addinin Kirista da irin ɗabi'unsu wanda ba haka nan bane ba. Menene aqidar Shi'a? Aqidar Shi'a in ka gane mecece Shi'ancin kanshi da tarihin shi zaka tarar da cewa ɗaya ne daga cikin karatun musulunci, ɗaya ne daga cikin fahimtar musulunci, ɗaya ne daga cikin mazhabobin musulunci a tarihin duniya. Ita wannan kungiya an kafa ta a shekara ta 2002, sannan kuma ta nemi rijista a shekara ta 2003, sannan rijistanta da gwamnatin tarayya ko kuma ce da hukumar bayar da izinin kan kamfanoni da kungiyoyi a shekara ta 2005 ta samu rijista. Tun daga lokacin tana ayyukanta akan abin da ya shafi ayyukan wayar da kan jama'a ne da abin da ya shafi ayyukan thakafa. A lokacin da muka kafa wannan kungiya muna da tunanin cewa ta zo ta ansa wasu lamurra a saha ta Najeriya gaba daya, musamman yanda sunan Shi'anci da an faɗe shi kwakwalwa wani guri yake zuwa. Kwakwalwa yana zuwa wani zancen karo da gwamnati ne ko kuma faɗa da hukumomi da sauransu. A cikin Shi'anci babu wannan a tarihin Shi'anci. Don haka nan yan Shi'a ya zamanto kenan akwai karantarwanta, akwai abubuwan da ya waje ba dan Shi'a ya sufanta da su, shine muka sufanta da su kuma shi muke aikatawa a tsawon wannan lokaci.
Mu 'yan Jafari wato mabiya masabar Ahlul Bayt muna da abin sunna dangane da yanda yanayin gudanarwa na kasashe yake a duniyar mu ta yau.
Sheikh Muhammad Nur Das came from the royal family of Das Emirate in Bauchi State. He attended the famous Shia theology school at the holy city of Qum, Iran. Sheikh Nur, after successful completion of his studies, stayed for about 16 years in Iran, attaining more knowledge. This makes him one of the most knowledgeable Nigerians ever to study in Iran. Due to his performance in seminary school in both learning and character, he was made Nigeria's official representative of the spiritual leader of Iran in all religious matters, Marja'i Ayat Sayyid Khamenei. This position makes him the highest-ranking Shia cleric in Africa.
Iran ka duba akwai Yahudawa, akwai Kirista, Armenians, akwai masu bautan wuta, dukkanin sun zauna karkashin gwamnati daya. A Lebanon in ka duba akwai Hezbollah da suna da karfin soji amma suna nan karkashin gwamnati daya. A Iraki a ina kusan da inda ka duba za ga wato mun yadda da mulkin kasa saboda imamin mu alaihi salam Imam Ali yana cewa kasa dole tana bukatan jagoranci da dole tana bukatan shugaba wannan wala budda lin nas min amir wato mutane tilas su zamanto suna da jagora
a irin halin da ake ciki a yau a irin kasar mu Najeriya kada mutum ya rudi kansa dan Shia imamiya zai iya tantancewa tsakanin wannan mutum.
An erudite Shia scholar, Sheikh Bashir Lawal, was a graduate of Islamic Theology School in the holy city of Qum, Iran.
Lokacin da aka ce maka ga wasu mutane guda biyu, dukkansu kuma suna son su shugabancin ta. Dukkansu. Me ma'anar shugabanci? ‘Ya'yanka, matanka, kai kanka, mutuncinka, arzikinka, rayuwarka duk ya dogara daga wayannan mutane. Za su yi tasarrufi akan rayuwarka. Sai zama daga wani an taɓa gwada shi. Duniya ta mai shaida a kasanto shi ne gaskiya tun yana da gaskiya shi a ɓoye har gaskiyar ta yana so ta fito fili wani kuma akasi tamamin. To a nan gurin gaskiyar lamari mu a shi'ance muna iya riskanci a wannan mutumin ba bisa hatsari ya zama mai gaskiya ba har gaskiyar ta bayyana. Kuma na sha kawo a misali na ce idan da kai din nan kana da wani 'yan kwabban ka ba su da yawa miliyan 10 sai ya kama za ka ba da su amana akwai aminan ka biyu ɗaya tsohon barawo ne amma tubabbi ya tuba taubatar da su ba a tsammani ya ƙara yin sata ya koma mutum nagari kamuli sali. Akwai kuma wani wanda bai taɓa rayawa zuciya shi cewa zai sata ba tsakaninka da Allah wa za ka fara bawa wanda bai taɓa yi ba. To haka ka san mu fa take ciki a yau.
Sharhin Risalatul Huquq na Imam Zainal Abidin, sharhin saƙon haƙoƙi na Imam Zainal Abidin, imami na hudu daga cikin imamanmu, ya koya mana gaba ɗaya yadda za mu yi mu'amala da kowa da kowa, yadda za mu yi mu'amala da makota wanda shi ne ke karantawa halin yanzu, shi yake sawa ma, yadda za mu yi mu'amala da wanda suke shugabanninmu, yadda za mu wanda shugabanni za su yi mu'amala da wanda yake talaka, ma'ana wanda yake shugabanci, mu'amalan soja wanda yake sojan da yake kare ƙasa ne, yake kare bodojin al'umma, irin mu'amalansa da abin da ya hau kansa kai, haƙƙin dukiya, haƙƙin iyaye akan iyaye, haƙƙin iyaye akan iyayensu. Za ka tarar da cewa zantukar iri ɗaya ne da sauran abin da yake tanaje a cikin littattafai. Bambanci shine mu mun fa haɗa hankalinmu akan wannan fiye da masaloli na rarraba da saɓani. Da haka nan mu'amala shi'a shine mu'amalar ƙaunar juna, mu'amalar girmama mutane, mu'amalar biyayya ga shugabanni da kokarin tabbatar da cewa suna adalci, mu'amalar da cewa shugabanni su kokarin yin adalci ma wanda suke shugabanci, mu'amalar makoci ya taimaka abin nan ya kyautata ma makocinsa. Inda manzon Allah wani daga cikin sahabu manzon Allah yana cewa manzon Allah bai gushe ba yana mana wasici da makoci har sai da muka yi tsammanin makoci zai gaji makocinsa.
Due to the developmental programs of the Buhari administration, the Rasulul Azam Foundation has thrown its weight behind the 4+4 movement and fully support the re-election of APC government to the next level.
Mu a iya saninmu da mutum irin su Malam Muhammadu Buhari za ka samu cewa tarihin shi ya nuna wani irin mutum ne, kuma ya yi an gani. Sufofi irin wa'annan na taɓa faɗa, na ce akwai wasu nau'i na mutane wanda nau'in kamalarsu kawai idan suka zama shugabanni a al'umma yana rage lalacewa da yawa. Wasu mutanen haka suke, saboda me ko mai gida ne ya zama na iyalansa ya zama na shi akan kanshi mutumin banza ne, mutum ne mara kamun kai, mutum ne wanda bai da mutunci, to za ka samu irin iyalan gidan da yake jagoranci tarwatsatsu ne. Amma da za a samu wani gida wanda shugaban wannan gidan mai amana ne, ba a taba gwada shi akan amana aka gaya ba a san shi da ƙarya ba, ta yanda wannan tun kafin siyasa har tun abu yana koyi. Kuma muna da hadisai daga ma'aiki yana cewa wani lokaci mutum zai ta gaskiya, ya ce ku yi gaskiya, ku yi gaskiya, mutum ba zai gushe ba yana gaskiya har sai an rubuta shi a wajen Allah mai gaskiya.
Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Kamar yadda ya ce ku guji ƙarya, mutum ba zai gushe ba yana ƙarya har sai an rubuta shi a wajen Allah makareci, sai Allah ya baza wannan, sai al'umma duk su zama. So da yawa annabi yakan ce al'ummar duniya su ne shaidun Allah a lahira, ba wai dan Allah bai sani ba, Allah yana bazawa ne. Sai zama daga wasu mutane wanda da ganin wannan mutumin kai ka san ba za ka hada shi da wani. Ni a tsarin Najeriya a yau ina ganin mutumin nan yana da kwalitin da hatta waɗanda suka gabaci ƙasar nan babu wanda ya tara sharuɗa na kamala a mutunci da mutuntaka kamar wannan ba mu Allah Muhammadu Buhari. Ba wai saboda yana nan yankin bane ko mu Fulani Hausa Fulani ne yasa ba, a gaskiya ce. Wannan ne yasa zaka samu masu mutunci, masu hankali, masu kishin ƙasa daga bangarori daban-daban na Najeriya duk sun fahimci hakan, kuma ya gwada. Yau ko abin da ya faru a gwamnatin soja, wani yanki ne aka bashi TTF ko ba shi bane? To wani irin rawa ne ba Allah nan bai taka ba? Rara ne ba wai kudin agwaran rara da raran nan sai gashi ba Allah nan kusan gwamnatin Abacha ba wani abu da zaka iya nunawa har yanzu ai alfahari da shi kaman wannan rarar da bawan Allah nan ya rike, ya taka an gani. Saboda haka muna roƙon 'yan ƙasa za su ƙara bashi wannan dama din ya kammala abin da ya fara. Kuma ya zuwa yanzu ko jiya ina sauraron gidan rediyon Jamus suna bayani ne akan nau'in noma, suka ce yanzu bincike ya tabbatar da kashi 80% na shinkafar da 'yan Najeriya suke suwa a waje yanzu a cikin shinkafar gida suke ci daga zuwan wannan gwamnati. Yanzu wannan bai isa misali ba
ga wanda ya san tarihin ƙasa ɗin shekaru kamar 4 baya, ba sai mun yi ba da yawa ba, ya san yadda abubuwa suka sukurkuce a ƙasa ta fuskoki daban-daban, ta fuskar handama, sace-sace da almundahana da warwashe kudin al'umma, warwashe baitulmalin al'umma, ya kai ma jihohi da yawa ba sa iya ba da albashi. Shi shugaban kasa PMB ya zo sai ga shi wanda ke bin wannan abubuwa ya ga sauyi sosai, ya ga da asusun yanzu an yi masa abin nan tattali, an gyara bakin asusu din daidai gwargwado, albashi ana bayarwa, ko da ba a bayar ba dai daga matsalar federal ba, lantarki daidai gwargwado ana kokari. Gonakinmu masu tafiya haji cikin manoma dai suna da yawa, don kwanaki mun je maulidi suke ba mu labarin yadda suka san darajar noma a karkashin wannan gwamnati din. So mu muna fatan dukkanin irin wannan gwamnatoci da za su zamanto masu kishin ƙasa, masu tausayin talakawa, muna tare da su, muna kuma masa fatan alheri. Allah ya bashi dawowa ya dora akan aikin da ya fara, insha Allah. Mu yan arewa dukkanin mu muna son irin wannan ci gaba da dan arewa zai iya kawo mana, ba sai mun samu wani na nesa ya zo yana mai da mu kaman bari.
An ga abun da ya raba Buhari da Yazidu ba. Wancan Yazidun zamanin Imam Hussein, wannan Yazidun zamanin Maulan Musharafuddin Malam Zazzaki. Abunda muke gani 10 ga Ashura, mu zabura mu cika Abuja mu zama 'ya'ya na halatti. Dama babbakun kaya, bakar zuciya kuma da son sha'ada.
Magoya baya akwai kusan wayanda abin da ya faru a Zaria ya sa suka dan ja baya da gwamnatin PMB, amma sauran 'yan Jafari din kusan suna da hange din ga irin ci gaba da aka samu. So wayannan wanda ya zamanto waƙiya ta Zaria ta sa sun ja baya, muna kira gare su da a zo abin da ake kira tafawut, wato negotiation, a tattauna. Akwai abin da suke bukata wurin shi PMB, akwai abin da shi ma PMB yake nema su kiyaye. So mu a fikihun mu tattauna bai taba zama laifi ba. Mun ga yadda Iran ta tattauna kusan shekara 8 da manyan kasashen abin nan duniya, wanda ake ce 5+1 har da Jamus a ciki. Mun ga yadda a yanzu ma takan tattauna da Turai har yanzu akan nukiliya. Sannan manzon tsira nuna mana yadda za ka iya sulhu ko da tsakanin wanda yake musulmi ne da wanda ba musulmi ba. Duk lokacin da abubuwa suka turnike, ba wuta da wuta ake amfani da su, wato wuta ba ta taba kashe wuta, amma kuma za a iya zuba ruwan sanyi akan wuta. So negotiation, tattauna, mufawadat, muna fata PMB zai da budawa sosai a tattauna da sauran bangarori din domin ya ci babu hamayya, insha Allah. Allah ya taimaka.
saboda marama abinda aka yi mana a Badar da Bunai.
Zanga-zanga kala biyu ce, akwai ta lumana wacce ta dace da doka da oda wanda yanci na demokuraɗiyya halatta shi, wanda a gwamnatance in an bi doka da oda ba ta da matsala. Akwai wanda ta saba wa haka nan, domin abinda muke cewa lallai wanda ta saba ta haifar da mushkila babba, kuma mun fi kowa cutuwa. mu ne farkon wa'anda muka yi ta kokarin mu shiryar da yan uwanmu cewa a hukunci na fiqhun shi'a bai halatta ka saba tsari da doka wanda yake gudana. Mu a wajen mu hatta wanda ya shafi ƙetare titi, wannan fitulun da suke tsayarwa malaman mu sun rubutu a kai, saboda mushtahidai ne suna da nan a ransu, kamar su imamu maliki, wanda a malikiya kilan sai dai malamai da suke bujirowa, yanzu shi ya rasu amma yanzu ana bin malikiya. To mu akwai irin su imam maliki da ransu yanzu haka su muke cewa maraji, suna lura da sabuwar matsala da menene ake bukata. Dukansu sun yi rubutu akan wajabcin bin tsari na dokokin ƙasa, haramun ne saba doka ta ƙasa wanda yake gudanar da rayuwa. So lokacin da mutum ya zo ya shiga hanyar muzahara ba tare da doka ba, ba tare da neman izini ba, to haƙƙin al'umma ne da yawa zai haifar da matsala, saboda akwai masu kula da wannan yanayin. In sun ba da izini to za su fito da hanyoyin waɗanda za su yi amfani da wannan hanyar a ba su kariya. Mu dai ta cutar da mu sosai, yana ɗaya daga cikin abin da ya haifar da rashin fahimta. da wani lokaci mu ma muna tare da ayi al'umman gari, mukan shiga motoci muna tare da mutane, iyalanmu suna tafiya unguwa, za ka ji irin zagin da ake wa 'yan shi'a sakamakon sun je sun tara hanya. Alhali wannan abin an kasance ana yin shi tun kafin shi'anci. So yan uwanmu wayanda suke yin irin wayannan muzaharorin sun fara su sama da shekara 30 da suka wuce, sama da haka ne. To kuma lokacin da suke wannan ba 'yan shi'a bane hatiman. Shi'anci a cikinsu ya faro ne officially daga 1996, shine lokacin da malaminsu ya fito ya declaration cewa ya zama shi'a. To amma kowa ya san tafiyarsu ta daɗe, saboda haka ba shi'anci bane koyar da wannan. Amma daga lokacin da suka fara yi da sunan shi'anci, musamman abin da ya haifar da matsalan tattaki wanda ya kama daga gari zuwa gari, shi ya fi haifar mana da matsala wanda mun daɗe muna tattaunawa da su akan wannan, cewa mu a iya sanin mu wannan dogon tattakin umban da Karbala ma ba mu ga inda ake yin shi ba a duk duniya, daga gari zuwa gari, hatta a Iran ba a yi wannan, daga wani gari a taka zuwa wani abu. Imamu Hussaini ne wanda abin ya shafe shi ma tattakin bai fi kilomita 80 ba. Yawanci za a ga daga Karbala, daga Najaf zuwa Karbala tafiyar da aka dinga yi kenan, amma dan tattaki daga unguwa zuwa wata unguwa akan yi, amma shi ma duk inda kaga yan shi'a sun yi wannan neman izini sukan je su nemi izini a wajen mahukunta. Kuma mun dade muna tattaunawa da yan uwan a cikin gida kan cewa su yi kokari su bi doka ga inda fiqhun mai faɗa, sai dai mun dade muna fama da su, kuma muna fata insha Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala zai taimaka mana wajen ganin mun yardar da su kan muhimmancin bin doka da oda.
Musulunci yana da amsa ga irin matsalolin zamantakewa, yana da amsa ga irin dokokin da za a sa, ko bai da amsa da irin dokokin da yana da amsa a irin wannan tsari na gamayya, tsari na haɗaka. Abin da zai haɗa kan ƙasa shine muhimmi, don haka muke kiran dukkan masoya da mabiya shi'anci ya zamanto abin da zai haɗa kan ƙasa gaba daya su zo su haɗe su ma su shiga. Haka magabatan mu suka yi. Akan haka ne za mu girmama almu'minu inda sharɗihi, mumini yana nan a sharɗinsa, a wannan yarjejeniya ya tsakanin shi da wani. Don haka muke kiran dukkan al'umma, musamman mabiya ahlul bait alaihi salam, musamman yan shi'a a ƙasar nan su fahimci wannan fiqh, musamman kuma bangaren yan uwa na gwagwarmaya, bangaren yan uwa mabiya Ibrahim Alzazzaki, muna kiransu da su rungumi zaman lafiya, su kuma rungumi hanyoyi na lumana, su kuma buɗe kofofi na zamantakewa tare da waɗanda suke ta sabani da su, sabanin fahimta da su. Ya zamanto kullun tattaunawa shine maganin duk wata matsala. Ƙasar nan an tanaji dokokinta ne akan aba kowa haƙƙin addini, a mutunta kowa, a mutunta aƙidar kowa, saboda haka ba a gina ta akan asasin addini ba, tana mutunta dukkan, wato ba a gina ta akan wani addini guda ɗaya ba, tana gina dukkan addinan mutane, tana karban dukkan addinan mutane. Don haka ya kamata ya zamanto wayannan ya kamata ya zamanto musulmi gaba ɗayansu sun zamanto abu guda ɗaya suke, mabiya ahlul bait sun zamanto sun rungumi zaman lafiya, sun zamanto kuma sun rungumi tsari. In kana son gyara ka bi tsari na demokuraɗiyya. Malaman mu ba su haramta mana tsarin demokuraɗiyya ba, a fiqhun mu ba haramta mana tsarin demokuraɗiyya ba.
Mun kiran da muke yi da gaske ne, da lokacin da aka zo da gyara sai an sami matsala, kuma yan uwa yan shi'a mu ne muka taka sawun barawo. Na sha faɗan wannan, wallahi a iya imani ne, na sha faɗi a karatuttuka na. Muhammadu Buhari bai shigo gwamnatin nan da niyyar ya faɗa da ɗan shi'a, saboda da hadafinsa haka ne da ba mu gan shi ya je Iran ba. Daga hawa gwamnatin nan farkon kasashen da ya je Iran ne. So abin da ya faru, kuma ko Malam Muhammadu Buhari yake shugabanci ko ba shi bane, irin abin da ya zo ya haifar da abin da ya faru a Zaria zai iya faruwa. Fatan mu a gyara, kuma fatan mu a bi hanyar da za a bi a magance wannan matsala din ta zama ta wuce. Shawarar da nake ba yan uwa, mu kalli wannan dama, mu yi kokari mu amfani da ita, da addu'o'inmu. Addu'a mutane suka yi kan Allah ya kawo mana sauki, ya kawo mana wannan canjin, kuma Allah ya kawo. Sannan har ya zuwa yanzu da dukkan abubuwan da ake kirkira ba gaira ba dalili, wanda wasu marasa kishin ƙasa ke haifarwa, na matsalan kidnapping, na matsalan su kokarin dawo da rashin tsaro, kun ga yadda ake dakile shi. Yau ana dab da zabe, amma kowa yana harkokin shi cikin lumana. In kuka tuna shekara 4 baya a daidai irin wannan lokacin, kana iya tafiya a cikin nutsuwa? Ba haka ba ne. Su mu zama masu gaskiya, mu kalli irin kokarin da wannan gwamnatin ta yi da masu mara mata baya, da masu kishin ta. Babu shakka ko annabawa akan samu a cikin gwamnatocinsu, a samu wasu suna gazawa, ba gazawan annabawan ba ne. Balantana shi Muhammadu Buhari ba masu ne ba ne, zai iya kuskure, amma lallai mutum ne kamili mai kishin ƙasa. ko mun ga haka nan, fatan mu a ƙara ba shi dama. Allah subhanahu ta'ala ya ba shi dama ya zo ya daura daga inda ya fara. Allah subhanahu ta'ala duk wanda zai kawo mana cikas ya zo ya zama matsala Najeriya ya haifar mana da mushkila a ƙasar mu, kada Allah ya bashi damar mallakar mu.
The ancient city of Dambare in Kumbotso local government of Kano State serves as the host city for the Rasul Azam Foundation.
Gaskiya ta fuskar security an sami ci gaba sosai don muna da wasu abokanan mu da suka yi hijira daga wasu jihohi kamar Yobe da Borno har ma da Adamawa. Wasu su har yanzu suna nan, amma da yawa daga cikinsu sun koma saboda yanayi din ya canza. Muna yabawa ga su wayannan mataimaka PMB, su wayannan baraza da suka tsaya a bayan shi PMB, da mun san barazana din tana da yawa sosai. Ta fuskar tsaro mun ga kokarin su, shi kuma VP aka samu lokaci PMB bayan nan shi ke rike da kasa din, kuma kasa ta tafi lafiya, kuma da arewaci din da kudanci dukkanin muka haɗe da sauran bangarorin kasa mun yadda a tafi tare, wato da Baribe da Bahaushe amma da sauran bangarori na kasa din, tun da kasa ta mace dukkanin mu ba ta bangare ɗaya ba.
Muna ƙara godiya ga shi mai ba shugaban ƙasa shawara akan harkokin tsaro, wato wanda yake shine Major General Baba Gana Mangunu mai ritaya, akan irin kokarin da yake yi na haɗo kan ƙungiyoyin addini don ganin sun tabbatar da lumana da zaman lafiya, da yadda mu ma ya shigar da mu cikin wayannan ƙungiyoyi na addini ba tare da bambanci ba a lokacin da ya fahimci irin tafiyar mu da irin yadda muke lamuran mu, ya kuma ba mu shawarwari tare da sauran ƙungiyoyin addini gaba da Allah ubangiji ya saka masa da alkhairi. Muna godiya kan wannan.
Lallai ba Allah na ya taka rawa an gani, saboda ɗaya daga cikin abubuwan shine wannan dai tsaron da muka gani yau. Mu da muke harka ta karantarwa da abin da ya shafi tarurruka, mun fi kowa fahimtar irin rawar da bawan Allah ne ya taka. Ga abin da ya shafi nan Kano, muke raye a Kano, za ka ga irin matsalan menene road block, checking point da firgici da mutum yake ciki duk lokacin da ka samu kanka a gosulo kana cikin tashin hankali. Mun ga irin abin da ya faru a shekarun gwamnatocin baya, mun ga irin bayan Allah nan lokacin da suka zo suka samu kasar nan a irin wannan tarwatsewa. Lallai mutumin ya nuna cewa jajirtacce ne. Mun ji an ce tsohon janar ne ko na soja, to ya nuna janar ne, kuma zakakuri ne mai kishin kasa. Kishin kasar shi ne ya sa ya iya bi da abubuwa da yawa, ya iya ya dakila abubuwa da yawa na harkar mushkilolin tsaro. Shi ma muna mai fatan alheri, muna fata irin wannan ayyukan da suka fara su dore, saboda matukar wannan abin ya ci gaba har Allah ya taimake mu aka samu shekara 8 sun sai ta kasa fuke. Duk waɗanda za su zo daga baya da izinin lahi za su dora. So fatan mu wannan ofishi nashi ya daure. Mun ga abin da wa'ancan suka yi kuskure, ba kawai ba su taimaka ba ne, a kudin da aka bayar na amana a yi amfani da shi a sai makani don a taimaki mutane. Wani yake fito da magana ya ce kusan dala biliyan 2 aka ware don makamai, wasu suka siyar, wasu ba su san me ya faru. To sai ga wannan ofishin tun da ya zo kokari ake yi, tare da sun karɓi ƙasar lokacin da ƙasar kusan ba ta da komai, amma suka isar da al'amari zuwa yadda ya kai a yau. Lalle muna musu jinjina, muna fata Allah subhanahu ta'ala ya ba su nasara, ya ƙara musu ƙwarin gwiwa akan abin da suke yi na samar da tsaro.
Information is power.
Nigeria's industrialization journey is still central to President Buhari, despite hiding political activities, signed several agreements with investment partners.
We have created for Empower 500,000 jobs.
8 days to go, politicians move from door to door, street to street, wooing voters for votes.
The collection of PVCs scheduled to end today, Friday 8 February 2019, is hereby extended nationwide.
Second chance for those yet to get their permanent voters card as INEC reconsiders deadline. Hello, good evening and welcome to NTA Network News on the network service of the NTA, reaching you live from Abuja. I am Jumwa Yusuf. Jennifer Igwe will join us from Lagos in the course of the news. Now, the federal government and some strategic investment partners have signed several agreements aimed at fostering the industrial revolution in the country as well as enhancing job creation. President Muhammadu Buhari, who presided over the ceremony, said the aim is to position Nigeria as a preeminent manufacturing hub in Africa and major exporters of its own products. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo completes the report.
The agreements were signed between the Nigeria Special Economic Zones Investment Authority, Afrexim Bank, African Development Bank, Africa Finance Corporation, Bank of Industry, and Sovereign Investment Authority. The ceremony marked the formal preparation for the takeoff of Nigeria's Industrial Revolution Plan as conceived in the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. Under the agreements, new special economic zones are to be developed across the country, with Eyimba Economic City in Abia State, Funtua Cotton Cluster in Katsina State, and Lekki Model Industrial Park in Lagos State in the pilot phase.
In addition, we're also doing feasibility studies in more than 8 to 10 other states that will be the next phase of the industrialization agenda.
Afrexim Bank committed to provide $1 billion to support Nigeria's trade with the rest of Africa. We believe that the industrial parks that will be developed will benefit strongly from this $1 billion facility.
Our objective at the NSIA is not just to create value for the Nigerian people, but also to create social impact. And consequently, we see this as one of those key areas of opportunity for the country.
President Muhammadu Buhari said the Special Economic Zones project under his direct supervision is designed to boost the country's manufacturing share of the gross domestic product to 20%, generate $30 billion in annual export earnings, and create 1.5 million jobs by the year 2025.
Special Economic Zones offer investor-friendly incentives, up-to-date infrastructure, and ease of doing business in order to attract local and foreign investment, and have been used as a catalyst for rapid and inclusive industrialization, job creation, and diversified export earnings in countries with exemplary development records.
He said experienced special economic zones developers and operators have also been invited to partner the government towards upgrading the free trade zones in Calabar and Kano, on which a contract in excess of 19 billion naira approved on the provision of needed investments is now ongoing.
We are reviewing our incentive framework to ensure competitiveness relative to the other countries with whom we are in the race to attract export-oriented global manufacturing investment. We will extend the early successes we have achieved in ease of doing business to the areas critical to globally competitive export-oriented manufacturing operations.
The Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, he said, is currently under instruction to implement the Made in Nigeria for Export project under a presidential special priority intervention. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to remain faithful to his principles of accountability, honesty and social justice as he strives to take Nigeria to the next level. This was while receiving in audience representatives of his various support groups from across Nigeria and in the diaspora on a solidarity visit. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The representatives of the various support groups led by Dr. Mahmoud Mohammed were in the State House to not only update the President on their activities so far, but restate their commitment to effective mobilization and sensitization of the electorate as day of voting fast approaches, using the opportunity to chronicle what he described as the giant strides of the Buhari administration in security, economy, education, infrastructure, and the unprecedented war against corruption. Dr. Muhammad insists that sustaining the change agenda is critical to Nigeria's future.
From tomorrow, there will be no sleep. All the support groups, as your foot soldiers, will go down door to door, market to market, house to house, shop to shop. And why so much believe in you? Because of that integrity. And we say integrity matters. We know you are one custodian of people's treasury that has never and will never touch 1 naira of public funds.
We from US, we believe that there is no doubt Mr. President will be returned on the 16th.
We're very, very contributive to APC victory 2015, and we'll make it happen again because we believe in the team APC. We believe in Baba.
President Muhammad Buhari thanked members of the groups for their sacrifices and patriotic spirit, which he described as imperative in view of the high level of devastation suffered by Nigeria due to maladministration over the years.
This large-scale abuse of trust, only God can give the punishment, so we leave them to God. But those we can catch, we will take them before the courts and get them prosecuted.
The president promised to keep to his principles towards sustaining the growth and development of the nation's economy, as well as enhancing the welfare and well-being of the citizenry.
If I hadn't stick to my principle of accountability, I would have been in trouble by now. The most comfortable thing is to live within your means and damn the consequences.
There are over 1,000 registered groups supporting the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
In another development, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says if the APC returns to power, creation of more jobs and power generation will remain a priority. He said this while addressing party supporters during his continued house-to-house campaign in Lagos. Nosa Paula reports.
Professor Osinbajo moved his house-to-house campaign to Shomolu to feel the pulse of the residents and seek support of the people for Buhari's re-election. The vice president, who visited some houses in Bagada, Igi Olugbi, and Ladi Lake areas of Shomolu, also engaged in roadshow on some streets to seek support for the All Progressives Congress candidates.
At the moment, we have created for Empower 500,000 jobs. But the next level is 1.5 million. Because every year, 1.7 million people come out of school looking for work. And we want to make sure that new power companies that want to supply power to different areas will be licensed.
Osinbajo was accompanied by APC chieftains. The team also visited the palace of Oba of Shomolu, Oba Kazim Bashwa, in Lagos, Nusa, Usula, NTA News.
Still on the campaign trail ahead of the APC presidential campaign rally in Ogun State, a 10,000-man awareness rally has been held in Abeokuta. Anthony Gandunu reports that the rally is to mobilize and drum up support for President Muhammadu Buhari and all APC candidates in the state.
The awareness rally organized by the Independent Campaign Group, Ogun State, ahead of the All Progressives Congress presidential campaign to Ogun State, takes off from Chief Olusegun Oshoba's house, Ibara Housing Estate, and moved through Oloke, Kolobo, Pansheke, Omida, Igbore, Itoku, and Shapon. The 10,000-man awareness rally is to sensitize Ogun State people to enable them prepare for a befitting and rousing reception by trooping out in large numbers to welcome President Muhammadu Buhari and his vice, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, to the state.
Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, which Buhari has been working on it for a couple of years now, which I believe by December, as you said, that they are going to commission it. So it's part of what bring us out to campaign out for Buhari, because it's a good thing for us as a progressive to see what people have done in governance. What he has done again is this empower for our youth. At least Even my wife have benefited from it.
The coordinator, however, advised residents of Ogun State not to only come out in large numbers to welcome Presidents Muhammadu Buhari and Osinbajo, but also ensure that they vote for all candidates of the All Progressives Congress in the forthcoming general elections.
Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of Alliance National Party, Asiwaju Moshood Chitu, says the hopes and aspirations of Nigeria's founding fathers are realizable if the people would put aside their differences and work together as one indivisible entity. He was speaking while unveiling the party's core manifesto ahead of the February 16th presidential poll. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The presidential candidate notes that Nigerians are united in their desire to be governed only by their democratically elected representatives. It is in this direction that the party, he explains, believes that only urgent restoration of participatory democracy and social justice can return Nigeria back on track. The party's 11 core manifesto include facilitation of a rapid and sustainable development process through sound education, basic health care and food security.
The party shall strive through dialogue to ensure the entrenchment of true justice for all in our body politic.
Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of Democratic People's Party, Philip Osakwe, says he will run an all-inclusive administration if voted into office in the coming presidential poll. He was speaking at the party's national secretariat while receiving some Nigerian groups who came to identify with him.
I want to also encourage Nigerians that we can all come together, and voting for me, I'm assuring you that I will be one of the best presidents of Nigeria so far.
The presidential candidate enjoined the groups to remain loyal to constituted authority during and after the election. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
Still talking politics, massive support trailed the campaign rally of the All Progressives Congress APC in Etina local government area of Akwa Ibom State. The leaders of the party were there to solicit support for President Muhammadu Buhari and other candidates of the APC in the forthcoming general elections. Imo Etimodu reports.
Chieftains of the All Progressives Congress called on the people to support the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and the emergence of Obong Simaikere as governor of Akwa Ibom State. They say the APC will continue on the track of development at the federal level and replicate same in Akwa Ibom State if the party's candidate Obong Simaikere wins in the forthcoming election.
I've seen a man determined to give Nigeria a face. He has been appointed as the ambassador of anti-corruption in Africa.
The governorship candidate of the APC, Obong Simaikere, promised 18 and more remarkable development that will move the entire people of Akwa Ibom State to the next level in line with President Buhari's blueprint for a better Nigeria.
We have a plan to create jobs for all of you so that we can come and bring meaningful development.
Now there's cheering news for PCV collectors. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has reconsidered its stand on the deadline for the collection of permanent voters' cards. Mayor Ogidi reports on the Commission's position.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, commenced the continuous voters registration exercise in 2017 and ended in August 2018. And within this period, more than 14.2 million persons were registered. After the closure of that exercise, the collection of the permanent voters' cards started, and February 8, 2019 was the deadline for the collection of those cards. But within this period, a lot of complaints have been addressed to the Independent National Electoral Commission from those that registered. Many of them cannot find their cards in the places of registration. Complaints also arise from transfer of cards from some citizens that their cards cannot be found in the places where they applied to be transferred to. So, the Independent National Electoral Commission has reconsidered its stand on the deadline for the collection of the permanent voters' cards.
The Commission has taken the following decisions. Number one, the collection of PVCs scheduled to end today, Friday, 8th February 2019, is hereby extended nationwide to Monday, 11th February 2019. This will include Saturday and Sunday from 9 in the morning to 6 p.m. daily. 3. All state offices are hereby directed to review the procedure for the collection of PVCs and dedicate all the staff of the local government offices to the collection process. Staff are enjoined to be civil in attending to citizens and to escalate issues that they cannot immediately resolve to their superiors.
After that statement from the INEC chairman, the doors were closed and journalists asked to step out as resident electoral commissioners and management staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission are meeting for the final review of their strategies ahead of the 2019 general elections. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Thank you, Mia, for that update. We'll take a break right now. When we come back, NTA Network News continues.
What does next level mean? Simple. Economic growth. Since President Buhari spent the first term focusing on fixing security and corruption, he has built the foundation for growing our economy. And in his second term, it will focus on creating jobs, millions of jobs. We will invest in a huge infrastructure development plan, using rail and road to connect every major city in Nigeria. This means travel for people will be cheaper, goods will be cheaper, and it will provide over 1 million jobs in construction, logistics, maintenance, and services. This means more money in your pocket, which is the very definition of economic growth. By creating these jobs, we shall increase prosperity and decrease poverty. Make the right choice. Vote for Buhari. We are building a strong Nigerian economy for all.
Next. Lagbaja. Omo baba muko.
Na baba be that.
How do I know you are not an impostor? Oh yeah, play me something.
Abba, my band members are all over the world. Let me connect with them on Glow 4G and make some great music for you. Who's on Glow here?
I got Glow. Well, I've got Glow too.
I go show you.
Hello, sir.
Aleki, Gogo, Jide, guitar. Uzo, give me conga. Ahmed, keyboard. 1, 2, 3.
No matter where you are in the world, rest assured, Glow has you covered. Glow Ogasim, the unrivaled big boss of data. Upgrade to a 4G SIM for free and get 125% bonus. Also enjoy 25% data bonus on all auto renewals. Dial *777# to choose a plan.
Her Excellency, wife of the President and chairperson of the APC Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Team, Dr. Aisha Buhari, cordially invites the general public to a solidarity walk for Buhari. Meet-up point, Unity Fountain, Maitama, Abuja. Date, Saturday 9th February 2019. Time, 7 a.m. Please come in comfortable outfit as we will be walking from Unity Fountain to Eagle Square in solidarity with President Muhammadu Buhari. Announcer, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, Chairman, Central Working Committee of APC Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Team.
Mainstream Delta APC, MDA, in collaboration with Presidential Support Committee, PSC, Good Governance Ambassadors of Nigeria, GOGA, and the Buhari Youth Organization, BYO, invites the general public to its conference and commissioning of 4,000 canvassers for Buhari Osibajo door-to-door campaign program in Delta State. Date, Saturday night, February 2019. Time, 8 a.m. Venue, Grand Hotels, Asaba.
Let's add 4 more years for Buhari. Next level for Buhari Osibajo 2019.
Sponsors, Olorogu Ortega Emero, OON. Engineer Chief Dr. Samuel Ajobe, FNSA. Chief Cyril Ogodo, Chief Host and Organizer. Announcers.
Life evolves. You should too. 3G is great. 4G is better. Buy an Airtel SIM to enjoy double data on Nigeria's widest 4G network. Airtel, the smartphone network.
I am fully persuaded that Nigeria needs a man who is credible.
I am Chris Okotie.
Dependable and trustworthy.
I am Chris Okotie.
I am Chris Okotie.
My mandate, therefore, will be to set up government which have christened Government of National Reconciliation and Reconstruction as the mechanical instrumentality for the crystallization of the new Nigeria of our dreams. It's time to love Nigeria. It's time to fix Nigeria. I'm Reverend Chris Okotie.
It's time to fix Nigeria. If you love Nigeria, say, aha, aha.
On election day, here is how to handle your ballot paper from the point of collection from the polling official to the point of casting your ballot.
Once a voter is accredited, he is given the ballot paper rolled out.
After thumbprinting the ballot in secret, fold the ballot paper inward and flatten. Then proceed to the area where the ballot box is placed in the open and deposit the ballot paper into the appropriate box. Ensure the ballot paper is properly folded. Fold your ballot paper properly. Avoid mishandling your ballot paper and prevent blot ballots.
We are going to introduce quick dry impact so that will eliminate the risk of smashing and spoiling the ballot paper.
INEC, making your vote count, consolidating our democracy.
2019, Atiku Abubakar. See, we don't articulate.
Get articulated.
I go follow the man where Sabi the road. I go follow the man where Sabi the walk. I go follow the man where go create employment. I go follow the man where go stop the hunger. I go fall for the movement where go make Nigeria walk again. I don't articulate. Igbo people articulate, my Yoruba people don't articulate. Nigeria articulate, Hausa people don't articulate. Roma articulate, Igala, Ishekiri, Lupe, Manuri, everybody don't articulate.
For a better Nigeria, vote Atiku Abubakar for president 2019.
You are watching NTA Network News, reaching you live for Abuja. Now, the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council has formally inaugurated its Directorate of Contact and Mobilization ahead of next week's presidential election. The Director General of the Campaign Council, Rotimi Amechi, in a message at the event, urged members of the Directorate to ensure victory for APC and all its candidates. Political correspondent Saliu Abdullahi reports.
The All Progressives Congress, as part of its strategies towards success at the presidential election, has constituted a presidential campaign council with 13 directorates. As political campaigns hot up, the directorate in charge of contact and mobilization is optimistic that its grassroots campaign is to secure the successful re-election of President Buhari.
See yourself as an ambassador of this campaign everywhere you find yourself.
Grassroots mobilization is the key to a successful election.
Members of the directorate have been reminded that the task of re-electing President Buhari and all APC candidates is to guarantee the glorious future of the country, devoid of corruption, insecurity and poverty.
These people are going back home to take the message from us, to go and work.
Southeast before, as of 2015, APC has no ground. But now, APC has not less than 95%.
The membership of the directorate is drawn from across the country. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has restated President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to the welfare of citizens. The minister stated this at a solidarity rally in support of President Buhari's second-term bid in Lagos. Anthony Fosun reports that the solidarity rally for President Muhammadu Buhari's second-term bid is under the auspices of former workers of the defunct Nigerian Airways, whose entitlement has been paid by the present administration after 14 years.
describing the plight of the ordinary Nigerian as a major source of concern to President Muhammadu Buhari. The Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, said the situation spurred the president to ensure that retirees are paid their entitlements, hence his pro-poor policies, which has benefited many Nigerians.
Under this program, we have the conditional cash transfer, through which we transfer every month a stipend to about 300,000 households who are deemed to be the poorest and the most vulnerable in Nigeria.
The minister, while thanking the former Nigerian Airways workers, said it wouldn't have come at a better time than now, as Nigerians go to the polls on the 16th of this month.
It is noteworthy that the liquidation of Nigerian Airways, successive administrations have failed to settle the ex-staffers, leading to untold suffering and loss of human dignity.
President of the ex-workers of the defunct Nigerian Airways, Lukman Animashao, said with the smile and a renewed hope for a better life given to them by President Muhammadu Buhari, he should be rest assured of their total votes come February 16th. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Thank you, Anthony. In another development, President Muhammadu Buhari has promised more progress in delivering on the free promises made to Nigerians to fight corruption, insecurity, and improve the nation's economy. He said this during the public presentation of the book titled Nigeria on Firmer Ground Towards Lasting Peace and Progress, produced by the presidential media team.
I am convinced that we have made real progress and we are poised to do more by taking Nigeria to the next level of development, prosperity, peace, and stability.
To reorientate our consumption, our value system, which is what the change is about, change of character, change of attitude, renew commitment to productivity. Those are not changes that will go without pain. So what some people are going through is a withdrawal syndrome. There must be pain.
Other speakers expressed optimism that Nigerians will do the right thing by voting President Buhari for the next level course. Moving on electoral matters, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says victory is assured for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari in view of the successes of his administration, particularly in fighting insurgency in the northeast. Boss Mustafa was among party stalwarts at the APC presidential rally held in Yola, Adamawa State, and reiterated the focused leadership of Buhari's administration for walking the talk by ensuring peace in the zone and Adamawa State, where about 3 local governments were controlled by Boko Haram.
Before the coming of President Muhammadu Buhari, about 3 local governments in Adamawa State were in full control of Boko Haram. But that is now history. The people of Adamawa and Northeast are saying, thank you, Mr. President, and we want you to continue.
Still on the campaign trail, the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar says the provision of security, youth empowerment, poverty alleviation and relocation of IDPs to their respective communities are among his major priorities if elected into office. He said this at a campaign rally held in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Abubakar Mohammed Musa reports.
Addressing the gathering of PDP supporters in Maiduguri, Atiku Abubakar described the entity as one of his best rallies and promised to protect the lives and property of the people through provision of sufficient security as well as relocation of IDPs within short period of time. National chairman of the party, Prince Uche Secondus, described the turnout as unprecedented and assured that Atiku Abubakar has all it takes to reposition Borno and the country in general.
We want to warn that it is time for our country to move forward.
PDP gubernatorial candidate Mohammed Imam thanked the people of Borno and enjoined them to give their votes to all PDP candidates in the 2019 general elections. The PDP presidential flag bearer Atiku Abubakar also paid homage to the show of Borno, where he saluted the efforts of the royal father in working towards maintenance of peace. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Muhammad Musa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Movement PDM has reiterated its resolve to support the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari in the forthcoming presidential election. The national chairman, Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua Political Movement Senator Abubakar Mahdi, re-echoed the association's position when he spoke to NTA News Crew in Abuja.
While individuals are at liberty to support or vote for any candidate of their choice, Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua Political Movement has already endorsed President Muhammadu Buhari of APC for re-election in the forthcoming presidential election coming up on the 16th of February 2019. Our members, under the directive of the respective state chairman, local government chairman, ward chairman, and polling unit mobilizers should continue mobilizing for votes for President Muhammadu Buhari as directed by our national body.
The movement, therefore, disassociates itself from any other presidential candidate. Now to electoral matters. In its bid to ensure safety and timely arrival of the 2019 election materials at all the political units and collation centers across the country, the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, held a sensitization session with its members on their expected role during the forthcoming general elections.
The meeting, which had NATO zonal and state chairmen in attendance, is to strategize towards full implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding signed by INEC and NATO on smooth and effective service delivery of the 2019 election materials to all the polling units and collation centers across the country. A 7-man coordinating committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Kasim Bataya was inaugurated to coordinate and monitor the performance of zones and states in the execution of INEC demands for the success of the 2019 elections.
In line with our pledge to be neutral in carrying out our duties, we have resolved to excuse ourselves from operating in Adamawa and Taraba states. Whereas in Adamawa state, we are not satisfied with our chapter's preparedness to participate in the exercise. Our decision to withdraw from Taraba state is informed by the fact that the state chairman is contesting for the Taraba State House of Assembly elections.
They seek for more synergy and support by security agencies and other stakeholders to enable them give their contribution for a hitch-free 2019 general elections. In Abuja, Yusuf Umar, NTA News.
And now to security matters. The Nigerian Air Force says it will continue to comply with measures put in place by the federal government to aid transparency in government's financial transactions in line with its anti-corruption campaign. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, reaffirmed this at the 2019 Financial Training Workshop for personnel under the Account and Budget Branch in Abuja. Defense correspondent Alajide Bello reports.
Some of the government reforms introduced with direct bearing to the
Accounts and Budget Branch is saddled with the responsibility of interpretation and implementation of all federal government financial and accounting policies as it relates to the Nigerian Air Force. Therefore, the Finance Training Workshop is to further keep personnel of the branch abreast with latest policies of the federal government and how the force can leverage on them for enhanced operations.
For the government to continue providing the necessary funds to the Nigerian Air Force operations, it behoves on you to continue to maintain high level of integrity as finance personnel in the management of these public funds.
The way the Nigerian Air Force are going and updating the skills of the finance specialty, I think they are well-intentioned.
The Nigerian Air Force commended President Buhari for his administration's unalloyed support for the force to effectively discharge its constitutional responsibilities to the country. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And reports reaching us says the Supreme Court has vacated the stay of execution order of the Court of Appeal on the participation of APC candidates in the forthcoming elections in Rivers State. In a unanimous judgment, the five-man panel of the Apex Court Justices, led by Justice Mohammed Datijo, upheld the judgment of a federal high court in Rivers State, barring the All Progressives Congress from presenting candidates in the general elections. The lower court, in its verdict, restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission from accepting the list of APC candidates in the state. Moving on, President Muhammadu Buhari has forwarded to the Senate the names of 30 nominees as chairmen and commissioners of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission for confirmation. The names were conveyed in a letter signed by the President to the Senate President Abubakar Bukola Saraki, asking for speedy consideration and confirmation of the appointments. Lagos is our stop this night as Jennifer Igwe tells us what is happening in that axis. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, thank you, and a warm welcome to Lagos. Lagosians are set to receive President Muhammadu Buhari at the All Progressives Congress APC mega rally scheduled for Saturday. Abolore Ogbara tells us more.
APC women from local government areas and wards in Lagos turned out in their numbers for this rally, which is to sensitize residents on the need for them to get their permanent voter cards and carry out their civic duties in order to elect a leader with integrity to steer the ship of governance for the next 4 years. The women walked through Jibowu, Ikorodu Road and several streets in the Lagos metropolis.
So we want all our women to come out so that they know that they have a role to play in the political class. Women are the most people in the market, and to encourage them, to encourage their trade, the government is already doing that.
Meanwhile, Lagos APC faithful are eagerly awaiting President Muhammadu Buhari in Lagos on Saturday, 9th of February for the All Progressive Congress APC mega rally for his re-election bid. Briefing newsmen in Ikeja, former Minister of State for Defense and Chairman Transport Committee on President Muhammadu Buhari's campaign, Demola Siriki, said they are working with different agencies to ensure free flow of traffic.
Usually at this time when elections are in the air, coupled with the fact that the President has a large following across the land, coming to the venue campaign visit at the Tajid Stadium in Surulere will expectedly affect the traffic situation in the metropolis.
APC faithful are expected to gather at the Teslim Balogun Stadium to receive President Muhammadu Buhari in Lagos. Abolore Ogbara, NTA News.
And to judicial matters, the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has discharged and acquitted the former governor of Oyo State, Rashidi Ladoja, of 4.7 billion naira fraud charge brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Justice Mohammed Idris, in his judgment, said the evidence against him was too low on credible evidence to prove the commission of the crime against him. Vera Chimuba reports that the court also discharged and acquitted Wahid Akombi, former Oyo State Commissioner for Finance.
The former governor of Oyo State, Rashid Ladoja, and his finance commissioner, Wahid Akombi, were charged with conversion of 4.7 billion naira from the state treasury to their personal use. Both were rearranged on 11-count charge of money laundering and unlawful conversion of funds brought against them by the EFCC. Counsel to Ladoja and Akombi had consistently told the court that charges against their clients were baseless, having failed to establish a prima facie case. EFCC, on the other hand, claimed that both Ladoja and Akombi sometime in 2007 retained the various sums of money amounting to 4.7 billion naira despite knowledge that the funds were proceeds of a criminal activity. Parties had adopted their written addresses and made their submissions before the court. Justice Mohammed Idris, who had been elevated to the Court of Appeal, was sitting on a fiat on some criminal cases. In his judgment, said the evidence before the court is insufficient and therefore too low on credible evidence for crime against the former governor and his finance commissioner. He discharged and acquitted them. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this time out. Please stay with us.
All TVs say picture quality, but never mention the most important color, black. It uncovers the hidden details of nature, brings out the richness in all colors, and reveals life. With self-lighting pixels, only OLED TVs make perfect black, and perfect black creates perfect color. LG OLED TV.
What does next level mean? Simple. Economic growth. Since President Buhari spent the first term focusing on fixing security and corruption, he has built the foundation for growing our economy. And in his second term, he will focus on creating jobs, millions of jobs. We will invest in a huge infrastructure development plan, using rail and road to connect every major city in Nigeria. This means travel for people will be cheaper, goods will be cheaper, and it will provide over 1 million jobs in construction, logistics, maintenance, and services. This means more money in your pocket, which is a very definition of economic growth. By creating these jobs, we shall increase prosperity and decrease poverty. Make the right choice. Vote for Buhari. We are building a strong Nigerian economy for all.
Sensitivity is a short pain which occurs when teeth are exposed to hot, cold, or acidic things. Cold water from the fridge would trigger off sensitivity. A lot of people would accept anyway and just grin and bear the pain. What I would say to the patient is switch to Sensodyne, make it your daily toothpaste. Over a period of time would reduce tooth sensitivity. And a lot of them come back to thank me, to say that, wow, it's just something so simple. It adds the sparkle back into their life.
There shall be showers of blessing. This is the promise of love. There shall be seasons refreshing, sent from the Savior above. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead. There shall be showers of blessing, precious reviving again, over the hills and the valleys, sound of abundance of rain. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need.
As the 2019 general elections draw near, a few unpatriotic people are collaborating to cause mayhem and violence before, during, and after the elections. Nigerians, please note that government is committed to free and fair elections. Do not allow those who do not wish our country well drag us back into the dark days of needless violence and killings. We must have a peaceful country first before we can call ourselves Democrats. Fellow Nigerians and patriots, report any suspicious person trying to cause violence in your community to the nearest security agency. Those who are beating the drums of war for their selfish benefit, beware. The security agencies are watching. Nigerians, let us all resist evildoers who would want to encourage us to kill and maim fellow Nigerians.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
I thought leaving the country was the best decision for me and my future.
I left for a better life.
We were picked up by immigration officials and sent to a detention camp.
I spent 8 months in the detention camp.
There was no food, no water.
I saw people being beaten like animals.
Some women were raped. Some women were sold as slaves.
I thought I would never see my loved ones again.
I have made the biggest mistake of my life.
I have wasted all my savings.
I have to start all over again.
Migration is a human phenomenon which cannot be stopped. But if we choose to migrate, we advocate that it should be done in a safe, orderly, regular and dignified way, and not in a dangerous and tortuous manner.
This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons.
are watching NTA Network News, reaching you live from Abuja. In a developing story, the All Progressives Congress says it will review the Supreme Court judgment through other possible legal means to field candidates in Rivers State ahead of the elections. National Publicity Secretary of the party, Larry Issa Onilu, while speaking with journalists in Abuja, described the Supreme Court judgment as unpalatable.
The U.S. government will partner to ensure free, fair and credible process. His meeting with Governor Umaru Tankwal Makura is in continuation of the engagements on how to ensure a peaceful election in the country where every vote will count. The U.S. ambassador restates that American government will continue to sustain its relationship with Nigeria in order to deepen democracy and good governance.
Every Nigerian will be held responsible for what they say and for what they do. First, by God. Second, by their own conscience. Third, by the laws of Nigeria. Finally, by the court of public opinion of Nigeria. And then, of course, the whole world will look on Nigeria. So I ask each of you in these days ahead to be guided by your hopes and dreams for a better Nigeria.
Governor Al-Makura says the people of Nasarawa State are committed to peaceful election that will be acceptable by all and will welcome international observers who will be monitoring the exercise in the state.
Nasarawa State will key into international best practice in terms of the process for free and fair elections.
This is the second visit of the U.S. diplomat to Nasarawa State. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
That was the U.S. ambassador's visit to Lafia. Now, Nigeria has been re-elected into the African Union Peace and Security Council, AUPSC, for a new 3-year term. In a press release signed by Minister of Foreign Affairs spokesperson George Ihediemen, the election was held on Friday, 8 February 2018, during the ongoing 34th Ordinary Session of the Executive Council of the African Union in Addis Ababa, where 7 countries keenly contested for the available 5 vacancies. Alongside Nigeria, 4 other countries, Burundi, Algeria and Lesotho, were also elected, reflecting the 5 regions of the continent. Meanwhile, the Nigerian ambassador to the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and permanent representative to the African Union, His Excellency Bankole Adeoye, says Nigeria has sustained the membership of the AU-PSC since its inception in 2004, following the decision of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government to dedicate a seat of 3-year term to Nigeria at every PSC election in recognition of Nigeria's contribution to the maintenance of peace and security in Africa and beyond. Now, Ohaneze Ndibo and 3 Igbo social cultural groups have reaffirmed their unshakable resolve to work assiduously towards getting President Muhammadu Buhari re-elected during a solitary visit to the president. The General Secretary of Ohaneze Ndibo, in particular Uche Okuko, formally apologized to the Nigerian leader for the recent unguarded utterances by some members of the group, which he said are already being sanctioned. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
Apart from the leadership of Ohaneze Ndibo, there were also World Igbo Congress, World Igbo Union, as well as Ndibo delegates comprising Igbo leaders from the 19 northern states of the country. They were all unanimous in their submissions that President Muhammadu Buhari has demonstrated genuine faith in Nigeria and commitment to a sustainable future, and therefore worthy of their trust, confidence and support for re-election.
And for us to march here is to prove to you that the new face of Igbo land have come.
Igbos in the 19 northern states and Abuja are with you. And our votes will reflect it on the 16th of February 2019. Because the Igbos, wherever they are, will vote for you massively.
President Muhammadu Buhari commended members of their groups for their sense of patriotism as well as commitment to building bridges across ethnic and religious divides. Diversity, he said, is Nigeria's biggest asset, which must be harnessed and applied positively for nation building as the governing APC continues to provide a level playing field for all.
As you all know, the key issues that affect our country today are insecurity, economic problem, employment and so on, and corruption that solely relies on single revenue source. These issues impact on all Nigerians, regardless of tribe and religion. The perpetrators and victims of corruption and terrorism are from all tribes and religions. Poverty and unemployment also cuts across all tribes and religions. We also do not discriminate in our response.
He promised to sustain efforts at diminishing corruption, diversifying the economy, executing critical infrastructure projects across Nigeria, and supporting the less privileged.
Our programs are all over the country, and by the grace of God, we will continue to do more. Please be rest assured that my commitment to creating a peaceful, inclusive, and corruption-free Nigeria for all Nigerians remain as strong as ever.
You know, our people have been saying that if you greet somebody for the little he has done, you are giving him the energy to do more for you. So that is what these people came to do today. They came and thanked him and told him to continue, that they are behind him.
The president noted the request made by the group, saying he will do his best towards meeting them. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
From the presidency, the saying goes, a customer is always king. And to make this a saying in reality, the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company has inaugurated an integrated commercial management system, a technology designed to improve service delivery by bringing their customers closer to the company. Aliu Tukur reports.
Managing operational activities and customer services for the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company was a serious challenge in the past due to limited access to information. To address this challenge, the company over the years invested 2 million euros to come up with automated technology that will manage all commercial operations and customer services. The aim is to bring value to the business and customers. On the side of the business, the technology will provide visibility in all customer activities so that the company can enforce compliance in order to meet targets and improve service delivery. While on the customer side, the technology will handle complaints such as metering problems, excess billing, lack of power, and provide quick solutions to such problems.
We can check power theft on this system on various levels. Firstly, power theft can occur if there are loopholes in the installation of meters. Now, the metering process will be complied with because at every stage we'll be able to view what is happening, and it will tie the particular engineers who were assigned to do a particular task. So if you later on discover that there are some issues which have gone wrong, you know exactly who put the seal there, when did he do it, and so on. So you keep it from that angle.
We'll be monitoring all the automated information that is given in terms of bill and money collected from customers. We'll be aware of it. In terms of fault or diagnosis of challenges that they have treated, we will be in the loop, because the loop, as we have said today, is going to be closed. An open loop system is where NEC is not present. NEC is ever present because we have recommended this over time.
With the new technology, customers can lodge complaints and apply for new services irrespective of their location. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
Thank you, Aliu. Our next break beckons. Don't go away.
Whoever pushed me to go further.
Come on, one more.
To anyone who ever gave me a hand up. To anyone who ever taught me anything I ever learned. To those who work together to set the bar higher. To those who give me the energy to go further. This is my team, and my team makes me.
2019, Atiku Abubakar. See, we don't articulate. Get articulated. I go follow the man where Sabi the Kodo. I go follow the man where Sabi the Woko. I go follow the man where go create employment. I go follow the man where go stop the hunger. I go vote for the movement we go make Nigeria work again. I don't articulate. Igbo people articulate, my Yoruba people don't articulate. Nigerian articulate, Hausa people don't articulate. Roma, Tifu, Igala, Ishakiri, Nupe, Manuri, everybody don't articulate.
For a better Nigeria, vote Atiku Abubakar for president 2019.
Munch it, gotta taste it, crunch it, feeling. Munch it, gotta munch it every day. Munch it, just give me that super snack. Munch it, so irresistible. Munch it, makes me wanna say one munch, two munch, don't stop munch. Munch it is here, irresistible. One munch, two munch, don't stop munch.
Try a pack of Munch It snack at 50 naira.
Nigerian youth have seen the positive effects of the Anko Borrowers program of the Buhari administration, which has improved the country's food security.
Welcome back. Now, dry season farmers in Gombe State have continued to receive support from the federal government as the Nigerian incentive-based risk-sharing system for agricultural lending, NISAL, flag off distribution of farm inputs to them. Fatih Awal Abba has the report.
It was a dream come true for over 1,000 dry season farmers in Yembal-Tudeba and Fulakaya local government area of Gombe State when NASAL distributed water pumps for the 2018-2019 dry season farming. The incentive, which is part of the Central Bank of Nigeria Anko Borrowers program, also include hundreds of tons of improved rice and maize seed, assorted fertilizer and sprayers. The timely input support, according to NASAL, is to encourage irrigation farming and boost food security in the country.
The goal of NISAL is to trigger an agricultural industrialization process through increased production and process of the greater part of what is produced to boost economic earnings across the value chain.
At a separate but similar event, the Central Bank of Nigeria, through its Anko Borrowers program, also distributed agricultural inputs to rice farmers. The inputs include herbicide, fertilizer, and seed.
This is not our first time of benefiting such items.
Anko Borrower program has brought a lot of succor, not only to us, but to the country as a whole. Today, Nigeria is not importing rice.
The dry season.
That's the news. Thanks for watching. Good night.